seconds remaining.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back to Ty's Wrath, the Dota 2 tournament. Home from down under. I'm God, your commentator from Beyond the Summit, and this is your grand finals, actually. Game number 2, although I guess technically game number 2 or technically game number 3, whichever way you want to look at it. It's either game 2 or game 3. The series is tied 1 apiece. It's the second played game because there's a 1-game advantage to Team Rillamin. D4D, though, that didn't bother them. That didn't phase them at all. They said, well, no problem. We're coming from the loser bracket. We'll take the first game, tie it up 1 apiece, and, well, take us to game 3 on equal terms now. And D4D, if anything, with an advantage. They've got the momentum in their favour. We're going to see what they look to do here. Playing from what is the Radiant side, playing on the Dire side in the last game, and they've gone for a first pick mag, something which the last 2 games they've managed to deal with and play against. This time they're going to pick it up early on in the draft, and then they pick up 2 heroes which they've basically just destroyed Rillamin with, Shadow Demon and Lifestealer. So we've seen them really love to pick up this Shadow Demon early on in the draft. It was the Shadow Demon Luna against Joy. This time it's Shadow Demon Lifestealer up against the team who's finally lost a game. I think it's the first game Rillamin has lost all tournament long. I mean, we're completely undefeated in the winner bracket, and now finding themselves finally defeated. And for D4D, that's a big boost to their confidence, and we'll see whether or not that's going to be enough to give them this grand finals victory. They're still going to win 2 more games. Both teams now have to win 2 more games in this best of 5 matchup. What has Rillamin gone for? They've gone for a Luna, Leshrac, and Darkseer. So there's your generally off-lane hero Darkseer, although you have seen it occasionally in the mid lane, especially against heroes like a Templar Assassin. And it does match up decently against some heroes at mid lane, but generally it's just so good in the off-lane, so good at staying alive, especially once you get that surge at level 2. And a hero that's really hard to zone out of the lane. So a really strong hero to have. And we'll have to see where they want to lane this. D4D pick up a Sven. Wow. This is interesting because this was, I mean, essentially one of those 2 heroes has got to go to the mid lane, or or play as a solo. Where we're looking at Sven, unless we're looking at Sven support, that's probably more likely what we look at. With the Shadow Demon, you need a follow-up setup, a follow-up stun. I mean, you can go for a Shadow Demon Lena, which is being banned out. They could have gone for the Leshrac. No, sorry, Leshrac's been taken. What am I talking about? So the Leshrac and the Lena both taken out. Last game they went for a Sand King. This time they decide Sand King won't work. And I think that's partly because you're up against the Luna. You don't want to really be stunning into range of the Luna. They decide, Sven, you can stun from afar, and then you don't have to commit to going in, unless you know you have the advantage. With Sand King, you're all in. If you stun in, well, you're in the fight. So that's what, they go for the Sven this time around. And I think we're looking at another offensive trial lane. I mean, it's been D4D's style of play. Go offensive. Venomancer. Well, I think it looks like Rillamin are expecting it. They get themselves Veno, Leshrac, and Luna. So a strong trio of heroes. Haven't got a lot of lockdown, but they have got the harass. They have got, I mean, some strong nukes up their sleeves here. And I mean, they're going to have to rely heavily on Venomancer hitting a Gale followed by a Split Earth. Problem is, the initiation power from D4D is just a lot stronger, a lot more reliable, and that's something which could cause them some problems if they go offensive trial lane. This puts Mag, I mean, safe lane Mag, not generally where you see it, but you don't really want to do Mag offlane against this trial lane. Mag is a hero who needs some level, some farm, and I think if anything we look at Mag going towards mid lane here, and with this Clinks as a last pick, definitely looks to be where we're headed. Clinks can do the 1v1 matchup against Darkseer. And then we see Mag going towards the mid lane, the tri lane going up top. Shadow Demon, Sven, and Lifesteal. And without a doubt, this is a support Sven. Hopefully everything looks okay. There we go. LD and God Shigeka. We're actually planning on getting some kind of something, I don't know.
5 seconds
Unfortunately, getting a cat in LA will not be the easiest. Elgato we may have to be saying goodbye to. LD apparently fired Elgato. It was cruel and unusual. But yeah, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's great to see such a good turnout for an Australian Dota 2 competition, something which there isn't much of. But when they do happen, there are still some of you guys out there who do still tune in and watch. As some of you guys, especially from Australia, may recognise and know some of these players, especially the Dire team, Team Rillamin, some players who used to play with Fumofu on his Throws Club in the G1 League. You've got Kux, T-Duck, Lippy, Vodki, Vandal is also known as Vodki, and El Tigre is Vash. So We'll see how they do, and then you've got the D4D side where you've got, well,
10
Eldest Dad,
seconds.
who's an old school Dota 2 player, or Dota 1 player as well, who you might recognize if you go way back in Dota 1, and then you've got Z-Link, who's a bit of an old school player as well. So a lot of old school names for the Dota scene who is just still hanging around playing Dota. Not to a top level, competitive level, which just isn't really possible in Australia because everyone has to work and have jobs or go to school. They can't commit full-time to esports, but it's more of a leisure hobby thing, and that's why it's great to see people still tuning in to watch these competitions here. Well, no, that's not one of the players, it's just an observer. We don't care about him. But, D4D, it's going to be endless winter playing the Clinks. We saw him do that against Joy. Worked out well for them. Z-Link going to be switching on over to that Lifestealer. What I imagine is going to be the offensive trial in which they've just ran so successfully.
10 seconds remaining.
That puts Puck towards the mid lane, and then you've got the Darkseer in the off lane. Unless they decide they don't want to have Darkseer up against the Clinks, but I feel like that's where they've got to go.
Prepare
Darkseer
for battle.
immediately off the bat heads towards bottom, as I make sure I haven't messed up my overlays. Nope, I have not done it 2 games in a row. You guys aren't stuck looking at the brackets. Brackets? Not brackets. Let's not mess this up again. And you guys can check out those brackets. I believe it's challenge.com/TW Finals, I think is the link. TW short for Tides Wrath, which is the name of this tournament. But Darkseer versus Clinks. Clinks with the pulled regen will be able to sustain himself in this lane. Pulled both a Salve and a Tango. Confetti actually going to be playing the mag, so he's switched over from support to playing a solo mid role. He's going to be on the solo mid mag. Eldest Dad decides that is not a hero he wants to be on. He's going to be playing Sven, I believe. Sven, Eldest Dad. So Confetti no longer playing that 4 position for once. No phase, no kill, as always, on the 5 position Shadow Demon, and that's Z-Link playing the carry role, something which he's very accustomed to, although it wasn't him last lane in an offensive trial. He was playing the safe lane farmer, but they've really got this sort of dual core carry. They have Endless Winter on one and then Z-Link on the other. They're happy to mix things up a bit. Actually starting out at mid lane. We'll have to see. He's going to put down a wall. He's just waiting to put this early wall.
The battle begins.
There we go. Scouts out an Invisor and then puts it. This is good and bad. I mean, you want to get the early vision up, but this is good because they last 6 minutes, and this means you'll know where the 6-minute rune is. If you plan it after the horn, after the 0 mark, you're guaranteed to see the 6-minute rune with your ward. If you plan it before, you don't know where the 6-minute rune spawns, which is why he waits to plant that observer ward. He could have planned it earlier and then gone to help out this top lane, but he planted it after the horn went because he wants to make sure his mid hero can see where the 6-minute rune spawns. So, just a strategic decision and call from him. You are slightly more at risk of getting killed before the initial spawner. Speaking of getting killed, it's actually top lane cuts getting initiated on Sven Stormbolt to follow things up. There's a slow from the Lifesteal, a stun coming from Leshrac, not going to be enough. Shadow Demon, one more right click, first blood goes to D4D. Eldest Dad may go down and return. Venomancer and Leshrac are trying to fight their way through this one, but this is going to be the death of Leshrac. This is possibly not a good trade. Double stun though, hits, no phase, no kill. He will get the kill. Leshrac's still alive. What a big stun. Vandal, Vodka gets a double split earth once again, and he holds his own and gets 2 kills for real. I mean, I thought that was his death. That was not a fight that I thought he was going to come out on top of, but he gets a big, well-timed, well-placed 2-hero split earth, and D4D, they get shocked at top lane. The Invis room from the Venomancer, and well, just the ballsy Leshrac play. They're going to de-ward this pull now. Yeah. Oh, no. Say yeah, but it's really no. He wants to de-ward this. He needs to be careful. The Sentry Ward will scan him out a little bit. Vano going to come in and help, as well as Luna. Lippy, that was close, man. Very close. Worth going for, too. If they get the Gale, it's almost a guaranteed stun. You've got the Luna there with the additional damage from a Luna Blessing. There's Luna. Still struggling to farm. Oh, some friendly shoutouts coming to Zan. One of the best players in Oz, without a doubt. And D4D, well, we'll have to see how these other lanes go for them. It's Clinks up against Darkseer at bottom lane. Darkseer just creep skipping. This puts Clinks under the tower, which is not ideal for Clinks, but that's where the pooled regen comes into play. We'll pull this additional regen to help him out. He's actually going to go back for a bit of harass here. surges himself away.
Radiant's bottom
Realizes, I
tower
mean, this is
is
bad for
under
Clinks
attack.
because he misses creeps under this tower here. He doesn't really want to be spending too much time chasing around. He also wants to try to keep his tower as healthy as possible. We can see that he's not even using Searing Arrow. He may as well use Searing Arrow. He's got 4 mana, so he's managing to get the last hits without it, but taking extra damage to do so. And Darkseer, well, T-Duck, Soul Ring is up, and he just goes creep skip after creep skip. Mid lane now, 12 CS to Puck's 12 as well. Both heroes more or less even on farming. Confetti with a haste room up to see what he wants to do with this. So far mid lane's been entirely even. And it's bottom lane where Darkseer is having a great time at slowing down this Clinks, giving Clinks issues with this creep skipping. Top lane's where the action looks to come though. That's really the place where both teams can get aggressive. It comes down entirely to positioning, and this is going to be what they fight over. This pool camp here. Observe what's being planted to give vision of when they are in fact pulling clear. To get an initiation is not to be easy, and even if they find it, well, it'll be a counter initiation. When Gale, if he hits multiple heroes, and we've seen the Split Earth hit multiple heroes, it can really be problematic for D4D. D4D is just going to come in and take some of this though. Meanwhile, Venomancer last hitting under the tower. Not the hero you wanted to have last hitting, but Luna's just sitting over there contesting this pool. Second point up in Lucent being now. Actually going to be used just to get a last hit or so.
Radiant's bottom
And, this
tower
top lane
is under
is
attack.
pretty much in the sort of, I guess, quieting down a bit. Both teams are realizing what they're capable of. Neither team, D4D not going to overextend like they did. That's really that one engagement set the entire tempo. D4D overextend, and well, Rillamin capitalize. It shows that Rillamin really. They don't want to be aggressive, but if they get engaged on, they'll fight their way. They're not going to look to just run and cut their losses. They'll look to fight their way out of things and look to exchange favorably. They're going to basically force D4D to be very, very risky and take some big chances if they are to get kills. And that's something which D4D, I mean, they want to get aggressive, they want kills in this lane, but they're not going to be able to overcommit to it. At the same time, they just want to make sure that they can get this lifesteal or some decent farm, because he's out farming Luna. Luna with just the ACS, lifesteal with 23 right now, so they're not in a position where they have to go for kills, and if they force it, that's where they'll start losing this lane in a bad, bad way. As I see a bunch of people complaining. The black minimap, guys, is just my personal preference. I realize I should change it, because I realize most people don't play with it like that way, but when I'm playing Dota 2, I play with a black minimap. My personal preference. Lippy gets engagement at top. Open moves to follow things up, and this is one fight that, well, Rillamin cannot fight their way out of. They don't have the way of stop. Once the disruption and Stormbolt's hit, it's a guaranteed kill for the lifesteal, because he can rage his way through this, and we're seeing the much more standard lifesteal ability. We saw last game Feast being maxed out, but this time Rage is the way to go, and that's what you need against both Gale and Split Earth. And straight into Phase Boots, a great item for the mobility as well as the extra damage, and now the Phase Boots are up, this is a hard lane to stay in for the supports at top lane for the Dire side. Get mid. He's looking for the ball prone by the looks of things. He's Shadow Demon guarantees the rune. Rune gets picked up by himself, doesn't go to Confetti, but he's got the Bottle Pro action happening, so he's not too phased. Speaking of phases, Shadow Demon.
Dire's top tower
He hasn't got
under
his
attack.
phase boots. And that means you're not getting too many more kills. Gardo, well, he doesn't have to move. That's really been the big thing. He's struggled to get in position. That's where you need the movement speed. He has got his boots up now. Clinks and Darkseer all match rotated. We're going to have to see an RP to get this kill, but I imagine that will be something they're willing to use just to ensure this kill. The RP going to follow things up. Endless Wither can't get too close. Very, very close. If he was just a bit closer to that Iron Shell, he would have almost gone down as well, down to very low HP. He's got Tranquil Boots up though. Helps keep himself alive. He's going to need to pop this salve as well. Does do so in top lane. Lippy, they actually take out Shadow Demon. That's talking about D4D can't get too aggressive here, and it looks like they did just that. Elder Stack runs back up, decides he wants to make sure he dodges the Split Earth. He's going to get hit by it now on the side, and there's no getting out of there. I'm surprised he didn't just make a run for his own tower there. I mean, if he gets hit by a Split Earth, he's dead, but at least he stands a chance if he just looks for a run
Radiant's
for
bottom
it.
tower is under attack.
And top lane for D4D is not gone as well as it has in the past few games. They've really opted for a lot of offensive trialing, but this is one game where the offensive trialing has not worked as easily as it has. And it's because Rillamin were expecting the offensive trialing. They had a strong trialing of their own, and they had the Venomancer Leshrac duo. Well, they don't have the great setup, the great initiator. They just have 3 strong ranged heroes with the Lunar Aura and with that Lunar Blessing. And they can hold their own in a 3-on-3 fight. D4D have to get the lockdown on. I mean, really, they want to hit a Stormbot on multiple heroes. If they can hit on 2 or 3 heroes, then they're great. But if they're hitting on just one, then suddenly they find themselves struggling to get those initiations off. Confetti at mid. He's Arcane Boots, level 8 already with an Invis Room bottle, but as long as the RP's on cooldown, he's not going to be looking to get too involved in these other lanes. But as soon as RP's back up, he may look to rotate. We saw him kill Darkseid once. He may look to do the same again to help out this cleanse, because top lane, right? You've got Lifestealer farming, and killing the Darkseid is only really possible with a mag rotation. So he either looks to go there, or he looks to go top, and it looks like he's chosen top lane. So he's rotating up there, and this is where he looks to make something happen. Puck gonna need to read this. Puck has a TP of his own, so we could see a Puck rotation towards top. Puck's actually gone for a maxed out Waning Rift, so going for the extra points in the silence here, which is why the farm at mid lane was a lot more even. He didn't have the orb, the extra points in the orb for the harass and the damage, but the extra points in silence will help if a fight breaks out at top lane. He's going to have to TP immediately. We're seeing Mag trying to line things up. He's got vision of them. It's whether or not he can hit multiple in an RP. He's trying to line up 3 with an RP. If he hits 3 in an RP, it's all over Red Rover. We'll have a Stormbolt to follow it up. He's going to go in. He's going to hit 2 at least with this. He gets 2 with it. Stormbolt follows things up, and Venomancer can only stand there and watch. TP coming in. Problem is, things are already over for Puck, even though he hits 3-man coil. But this is a lost fight. He's going to get just 1 in return, and that's a trade that we're willing to take. Buyback from Leshrac as well for this. They really want to commit to this. Elderset on the run. Maybe they get more than 1. Elderset once again going to go into the side here perhaps. He dodges the Puck orb. Puck's silence is there though, and that does a lot of damage now that's maxed out. Mag is still in the fray. He needs another shockwave on this Puck. Puck with a phase shift now up. Open wound is there. Puck doesn't dodge it in time, and Confetti just going to try and fly his way through Lippy. He skewers him away from the lifesteal. He said, "Don't do that. What are you doing, Confetti?" And he gets taken out by a ward, and unfortunately that skewer allow that Venomancer to get a few additional right clicks, and D4D exchange favorably in the top lane. Leshrac even buys back for that one.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They need Darkseid there as well, maybe. I mean, it just wasn't, as far as the numbers game go, it was a 4-on-4 fight, but D4D had the numbers advantage right off the bat. They took out 2 immediately with an RP. Even with Puck coming in, and RP being on cooldown and the Leshrac buyback, I mean, it takes it back to being a 4v3. I mean, it evens up the numbers somewhat, but by that point, it's just not enough. There's not enough firepower coming out of the Dire side. Vodki, mid. He's decided to rotate out of his top lane. His top tier 1 tower being sacked. D4D going to realise this, give it to the lifesteal. Actually, no, give it to Shadow Demon says, "I'll take that." Lifesteal, I don't think was expecting that one to be taken, but hey, he's going to have to fight about that one a bit later, because right now they've got a grand finals to win. As Rillamin, the guys who cruise through the winner brackets, are in all sorts of trouble here. I mean, not so much in this game, but the momentum is no longer in their favour. They finally dropped a game, and D4D are just crushing. I mean, they cruised through Joy, they cruised through game 1 of the grand finals, and here they are in game 2 with a significant edge. 3k gold lead all of a sudden. The Confetti Mag has so far moved around the map well and set up some kills for his team, and then we're going to see whether or not the top Prowler can do the same. We're looking for Darkseid. Darkseid's coming with a Mech. The Mech going to keep his Lunar Light fast. Mech is the name of the game, and it's going to be the death of Gardo. As he's going to have to put his life on the line just to try to help Lifestealer get out of here. And it looks like just 1 hero being lost here. TP being forced out. Not a terrible loss for D4D, but still a loss they would have liked to avoid. What they are getting is an exchange at bottom lane. You've got Darkseid having TP top. He can't defend this bottom lane. It's going to have to be someone else who TPs in towards the bottom lane. And who's that going to be? Maybe the Puck? Puck or the Venomancer can defend this bottom tier 1 tower perhaps, but without that, Clinks will be looking to just take a free tier 1 tower if nothing really comes to defend it. He's going to actually, it's Darkseid just walking back bottom. Clinks not putting too much pressure on though. He backs off. He's looking to just buy out these Oblivion staffs. And in comes the straight now. I see a Glitch being used, so Rotation from Clinks as well as, sorry, from Puck as well as Venomancer. It's going to be Venomancer who gets put on bottom lane with some sentry wards. Actually going to smoke up. They want to kill this Clinks, not just look to defend this tier 1 tower. They'll see him, and they'll look to go on him. He's very low on mana. He's got mana for a Skeleton Ward, but we'll probably see a coil initiation, sentry ward being dropped, and then follow up from there. There we go. There's your coil. And you see a sentry ward being dropped, and there's your Gale going to land perfectly. Silent, all going to be needed as well. They don't have vision here though. Another sentry ward coming out, and this will be the end. Poison damage is there if they near Puck with a right click, and it's top lane and Mag with a revenge kill. Looks like they just got the standard Disruption Stormbolt with a Shockwave. They didn't actually need, oh, there was a Skewer used, sorry. Didn't need an RP. And this is a tier 2 tower, so sure they get the Clinks at bottom lane, but the trade for D4D is there. A kill just on a support, but if they get a tier 2 tower out of this, it's not too bad for them. And the problem is Puck can't really come and defend too easily. He's low in mana. He's going to have an orb as well as a silence, but he's got no ultimate. TP's coming in. They will defend the tier 2, but they can't really get kills without a Puck coil. That's their initiation. Until we see maybe. Well, Darkter, I guess he's got the 4 points in vacuum, but they just haven't got the ability to lock heroes down unless they get a perfect vacuum split earth. But that's ridiculously hard to time at this point in the game. Bottom lane. Tier 1 tower actually destroyed by the Dire? Didn't get denied? Okay. I don't know if that was a misdeny, perhaps. Well, Clinks just got there a bit too late, but not ideal. It looks like Mag should have a finished Blink Dagger. He's just spent a good chunk of his gold. Yep, Blink Dagger now up on him. Left track. Cheeky little stun. Actually, no, he's going to actually look for an initiation here. Shouldn't do an immediate disruption. Mag does have a blink. Ultimate hits 3. Perfect RP. I say perfect. He did miss the Venomancer, but he didn't even need to hit the Venomancer. He takes out 2. Mech going to come too late because the kills already happened. And, well, Darkseer drops to a Searing Arrow, and now it's Venomancer just getting the hell out of there. He popped off the ultimate, but not going to do enough damage to bring anyone nearly low enough to get a kill. What an RP from Confetti. As soon as the Blink Dagger comes in, Blink RP on 3.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And that gives so much space for D4D. Kills gold for them. Tier 1 tower possibly going to be pressured at mid lane, and it's giving Lifestealer space at top lane. He's going to go right on this Luna.
Bottom tower is under
Eclipse
attack.
was up, and I think he decides it was not going to be a favourable position to look to go in. He's got phase drums, and armlet is more or less up. He needs just the helmet. That's 80 gold away. T-Duck at bottom. He's finished this mecha. I mean, do we look for a pipe here? I feel the pipe isn't going to be the way to go, if anything. I mean, it's not going to be a ton of magic damage coming at D4D, but they are going to be constantly looking for team fights. Now that they've got this Mag Blink Dagger up, it's Mag who's going for the mech. I like this. They want a mech, they want a team fight, and Clinks with a finished orb. Snipes the West Trap. And once we see this Mag with a finished off mech, I mean, the 5-man Dota that can come out from D4D is really scary. They need those heals coming from a Mag, and this is kind of what we see some of the Chinese players do, where they'll go for the Arcane Boots, the Blink Dagger, and then they get the mech. It means the support heroes like Shadow Demon can go for something like an Urn or a Drum instead. Because Mag's going to be getting a lot more farm and can get that mech up a lot faster than the Shadow Demon can. And that translates to earlier pressure and faster pushing coming out from D4D. Something which they want to be doing here. Especially now they've got Clinks' Orchid up. They can put a lot of pressure on with that. Include them to this tier 1 bottom tower, which they'd love to grab now. With 5 heroes all in the bottom lane / bottom jungle. This should be the tier 1 tower. Lippy is rotating down there, but there's just not really much defenses. It's actually the mid tier 1 tower. It's an exchange that Willermin want. Mag with a TP, and he's going to blink RP. He's going to hit 2. He misses the puck narrowly, almost hits the puck as well, but that's going to be enough. He screws them back to the tower. They've already taken out Luna, and now we see Darkseer maybe the next one to look to drop. He doesn't have a surge up just right now. Maybe not enough damage. Now Surge coming back online, and he's going to try Surge's way out of this one. He hasn't got a TP scroll, and the problem is, well, there's not really anywhere for him to run and hide. He's sandwiched between towers, tier 1 tower, tier 2 tower, mid lane. Mag with a blink and a shockwave finishes them off. Rillamin just cut their losses as Puck does manage to get out of there, but their losses are very heavy regardless. 2 heroes, a tier 1 tower at bottom going to Lifestealer. It's once again the mag initiation coming from Confetti, who's now getting closer and closer to this mech. He's got Buckler, Hedris, and 300 gold.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The woes just going to worsen here for Real Tier 1 tower, mid lane being pressured. Glyph does manage to block most of the damage while Strafe was on. That's going to help keep it alive for just a bit longer. I say a bit longer, but it looks like D4D aren't going to commit to this one here. They've just got this split push and split farm going on that they don't really have to get the tower now. They'd rather just not give any opportunities to slip up, any potential kills that Rillamin could pick up. They say, no, not going to happen. We got Nex farming at bottom lane. That's a free farming Nex who's pressuring a tier 2 tower. We can just wait till they go deal with him, then we can look to get this tier 1 mid. And speaking of dealing with him, that may be what they look and do with this big smoke game.
My flesh will grow back.
The question is, where's the initiation? How are they going to kill with Lifesteal? He can just pop the rage if he's fast enough. The only thing that could stop it is a blink silence from Puck, and that's exactly what they've got. Can they find that blink silence? The blink was cancelled by a Shadow Poison. Shadow Poison stopped the blink. He wasted the silence. This is going to be really useful for D4D. They do have an RP. RP back up. It's going to land perfectly once again, as usual for him. But the problem is he doesn't have the mech up just yet. The AoE damage coming out from Rillamin is enough. They've got the numbers as well. Clinch is in here. Silence now back up. Puck finishes off the Shadow Demon, and they're looking to keep on chasing. They want this lifesteal. He hasn't got the rage up just yet. He will have it in a second. He's got the rage now. He's just going to invest into a creep here. No, they're going to try to deny this wave here. They're saying let the creep get low. They know which one it is. He's going to come on out. Pops the rage, TP as well. Smart decision there, as Lifesteal does get out of there. And well, RP hit, I believe, 2 or 3 heroes, but the problem is there was 5 heroes and only 3 for D4D. Didn't have the Sven and didn't have the Clinks. Speaking of Clinks, is there many sentries or dust? Sentries and dust on Venomancer, as well as the trap. With a lot of overall vision here and there. And they're heading down towards this Roshan, but this is not going to be an easy Roshan, I want to say. They've got damage coming out from the Luna Aura, but this is a level 8 Luna. This is not going to work. D4D know what's going on. Double sentry ward for the Clinks. Clinks, you don't want to go running in there when they can see you. Ox, you know, he's going to use just that vacuum. Darksy does get the ultimate. He does his level 2 as well. Mango's 2 is 3 for high ground. Doesn't have an ultimate, but that's going to be useful for his team nonetheless. Pops the buckler just for some additional armor. They're going to take out Teed up first. Fighting in the wall, they don't really care right now. They've taken out Luna as well. Venomancer getting very, very low. One more right click is going to be needed. It looks like he popped a wall. No, he just got narrowly kept alive there with some cute little fogging, but not going to be enough as Clinks wraps around, finishes them off. And D4D. 4 kills go their way, and they say, okay, we'll work on Roshan. Thanks for the bit of damage you did. Elvis that pops a Warcry, gives his team the armor they might have needed. And now they get to work. Roshan does not stand a chance, and there's no way that the Giant team can stop this from happening. They don't have the numbers, they don't have the time to get there. Lifestealer picks up Aegis for himself. He's got himself a Mithril Hammer, so we're looking at what I imagine to be a Desolator. Go for just the pure physical damage. And for D4D, they're not in any rush to end this game to finish it off. They're just happy to go back, get those next level of items up. The BKB for the Clinks, who's just 500 off. Lifestealer's Desolator. Mag, I believe the mech should be finished. Yeah, Mag's just finished the mech, so we may look to heal up and start a push soon. Sven's got 2.3k gold. Wonder if you can start looking for some damage on this Sven. He's got 13 assists. Big influence coming out from him, but could see a blink dagger if they want the initiation, but the blink for the mag is really enough right now. I feel we can just see maybe a drum of endurance for some additional stats and aura, and then go for something like a drum into a BKB. But definitely, I feel this Sven will need a BKB at some point if he wants to be fighting in these team fights. TP's coming in mid. They don't want to be giving up any towers to anybody apart from the one on top, which they've already lost. But I still actually. Well, dangerously low. A blink silence could have almost burst him down there. Tier 1 turret mid, not in deny range just yet, and D4D are going to do their best to keep that one alive, as their time to really strike and just have control of this game is now, and we're seeing that. Top lane, Cux. There we go. He took his time. Endless Wind didn't go right away. He's going to try TP out of this one. Did the shockwave? I think it just missed. It came in just a millisecond too late. The TP home was there, and The kill didn't happen. All that armor. It's all this plus armor. I thought that was a dead Luna. But you get 1k HP and then you have 13 armor. The Ring of Aquila with all the agility of a Luna. It's just too much armor, apparently. The Tranquil Boots, plus 3 armor from those. Plus 3 armor from Tranquil Boots and plus 2 armor from the Ring of Aquila, and then another armor from all this agility is enough. That's what you need against Clinks, is just pure armor. That really helps keep Luna alive there. What has Elderstad gone for? Mithril has picked up, so it looks like we will be seeing a BKB build. Clinks, I mean, we saw last game BKB as well. I feel Clinks has almost played too safe in these 2 games. He can just go for an MKB or a crit. I feel he doesn't have to go for these ultra defensive builds. He's never really been in positions where he's needed a BKB too desperately. He's going for pure damage. Like if he had a crit or something, even just the start of an MKB, he could have done so much more to that Luna and gotten that kill. Shadow Demon, just going for braces. So all in all, standard items. I mean, Mag even with a mech is very standard for some of the Chinese teams, and something which you may not see a whole lot of from some Mag players.
Tower is under attack.
It's definitely a viable build. Dieting, lots of. I mean, the 2 supports, the Venom, the Lash, all about the wards. They've just got boots and then lots of wards, wands, and smoke. So smoke actually just got popped off. T-Duck, he's got the mech. We'll have to see where he wants to go for next. Luna, no BKB just yet. 500 gold away from that one still. And Puck level 11 with the Blink Dagger. So, all standard stuff from them. Problem is, they're just behind. There's no 2 ways of looking at it. They're behind it. They're in a bit of a pickle right now. Desolator finished on the Lifestealer, so he's got that pure damage. Sorry, I say pure damage, but just physical damage. A lot of physical damage coming out. Rage just go right in. It's a big RP on 3 heroes. 3 key heroes as well at that. Darkseer as well as Luna getting caught in that RP. Cuts from the run. He's going to get shockwaved up. Needs just one more right click. Drum's even going to be popped to ensure that Siege can catch up. Triple kill, all going away with the Lifestealer, and there's just no chance here. Puck does narrowly escape from the Clinks, and you've got to feel that Rillamin, I mean, they've just, at this point, they're just so squishy. Phase boots on Lashrak, and I mean, he's still just as squishy as ever. Some extra mobility to help keep him alive, but yikes.
Under attack.
Tier 2 tower top lane. This is just easy pickings right now for D4D. There's nothing really in their way from getting these out of towers. And just the 1 out of tower bottom lane left. They may not even worry about that and look to start sieging these tier 3s at either top or mid lane. Age is still up on the Lifesteal as well. I mean, if they want to make use of that, they've got a good, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 minutes of this Aegis left, and that means they can look for a tier 3 tower if they don't want to have to worry about this tier 2 bottom. But Clinks his position at bottom. He could even just get this on his own almost. The rest of the D4D team are actually shopping, getting their next level of items up. We'll see an Oblivion Star for Max, so it's your standard refresher orb coming out now. BKB finished on Sven, so didn't go for the drums before the BKB, just straight BKB and
Dire's bottom tower is
Tier 2
under
tower
attack.
bottom. Clinks, as said, can just easily handle this on his own. BKB Orchid, he can start getting that next damage item up. Would have loved to see it before the BKB. I think this BKB is just, I mean, he hasn't even used it yet, as you can see. He could have a crit right now. You can get the BKB later. If you're in a game where you need the BKB, it can always come as like a 3rd or 4th game item. You never need it right off the bat. But he did go for it. I mean, this is D4D's, it seems to be how they like to play this. While they go these offensive trials, they still play things safe. When they get ahead, they look to go for these slow sieges. They never look to rush things and take too many chances. Although they do get aggressive with their lanes. Smoke up and it's a dire ward. Unfortunately for D4D, like the one offensive ward that the Dire team had, that Rillamin had, they were sitting right on top of. I mean, it's somewhere you wouldn't expect there to be a ward at this point, because Rillamin have been stuck in their base for so long. You'd expect the ward to be here. Like, that's normal. You'd expect the ward there. You'd maybe expect the ward to be here. Maybe some like in the lane. Maybe you'd have one on this hill, which would have spotted them anyways. But to get one all the way on the other side of the river is a decent effort from Rillamin. D4D aren't going to make much of that smoke game. Reel them in. Well, they knew what was going on. Let's see if Klink's going to make much of this top lane though. With crit, I believe, coming out. Yeah. The Crystallis is there. He's death back to the creep. He picks up the crit now as well. Luna sees this and says, okay, now I can be solid good probably. Well, he can pop the BKB to get rid of the awkward effect. Problem is that's not going to really keep you alive necessarily. And block some searing arrow damage, but that's about it. And for D4D with the BKB up on Sven, they've got a second alternate carry now, and this is their 4th position Sven. Chucking in power on him, he does even more damage. This is, I mean, essentially 4 late game heroes for D4D with Sven as a carry, Lifesteal as a carry, Klinks as a carry, and Magboy. I mean, when you've got 2 RPs in a fight, that's a great late game hero to have. And even Shadow Demon as a late game support is fantastic. Disrupt and use defensively to save whoever's being initiated on. A huge impact in a fight. Mag gonna take a DD. I'm sure Klinks and Sven and Lifesteal will say, wait, what are you doing with that DD? But he's going to grab that in. I mean, it's only really a matter of time before D4D look to maybe start getting really aggressive here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
3 heroes at top. I mean, this is the buddy system. There's no venturing off on your own. You really have to stick with the buddy system when you're versing a Klinks, who they actually spot out. Both teams spot each other. Unless you're like immediate TP. Sensing potential danger here with the Klinks there, and the rotation from D4D around the side. Warcry even actually being popped off. Actually, it was a career that was spotted maybe. Would love to see. I was about to say, would love to see a gem. They need to get map control. If they want to find pickoffs and try and end this game, they need a gem to do that. And they managed to pick one up now on that Shadow Demon. I thought my clicking my minimap was bugged, and Lifesteal has picked up a Hyperstone. I mean, normally as a Lifesteal, as a carry, you'd be going for more damage-based item, where it's a Basher and Abyssal Blade, but when D4D are this far ahead and want to look to siege and go tier 3 towers and start pushing, I think he just looks for an Assault Crest. You've got the damage from Klinks as well as Sven. I mean, you've got a Mag and Power. While Assault Crest isn't sort of your go-to item after the Desert Armlet on a Lifesteal, when you're looking to go tier 3 towers and push, it's better. If you're team fighting and ganking, it's not the best item. It's not the best item for damage points, but for pushing, it's going to be a lot better. Freebie. Venomancer ventures too far out, and D4D will just pounce. Anything that goes outside of base, they're going to take. And they're going to take down with relative ease. And this is what they're waiting for. Next Roshan, they'll get themselves an Aegis. Then I have no doubt they're going to be looking to start sieging. I mean, they're not going to go all in for tier 3 tower push. We just haven't seen it from them, but we have seen them look to get an Aegis and then look to siege the enemy base bit by bit. Especially now we've got the Assault Crest, I think. Unless we're looking at Mjolnir. No. Assault Crest it is. Plate Mail, Assault Crest Recipe. And all he needs is the Chainmail, which is 100 gold away from him. He's going to have that now with the Aegis up. And Assault Crest going to be flying on out. So this is D4D's time to strike. They're even going to have the Daedalus up on Endless Winter's Klinks very, very soon. How soon is that? No, he hasn't got the recipe, so he still needs about 1200 more, but I don't think they're going to wait for it. I think they realize now is the time where they have a huge advantage, a huge lead. They don't need to wait too much longer. Here's a buyback on the puck. Maybe even on the Darkseer. Darkseer will be close. Hasn't got enough reliable gold, but I'll see when he dies how much of this he's losing. He probably will be looking maybe even just like 100 gold short. See buyback status. Darkseer, no. He's 20 gold short. So what's he popping over that net worth tab now? D4D's eldest dad is got himself up to 1800 gold, and that's really, this is a 4-position Sven with a BKB, and who can do a lot of damage here. Infest into the Mag. Mag's gonna be looking for initiation. Probably just a Blink Skewer, yeah. Blink Skewer. Not gonna be able to find a big RP to lead things off, but a Blink Skewer definitely possible. And unfortunately that wasn't it, but hey. BKB being used at this point is even better. It's a 10-second BKB. Not so much as wasting the 10-second BKB. The problem is that this is the longest cooldown that BKB has. The first this is an 80-second cooldown. The cooldown gets shorter and shorter each time you use it. You can see that 80, 75, 70, 65, and this is going to be a while before that BKB is up, and D4D will use this time. They'll use this to push on in. Skewer's back up, the blink's up on the mag. Maybe look for another blink skewer, or maybe just look for a blink RP. Even Sven can just go Warcry everybody in. There we go. He does almost just that. He Warcries, but they don't go in. He really looked like he might consider. The Plague Ward wall is going to be annoying here, but I think they're just going to go for this tower. This is going to force out an engagement. At least try force Darkseid to try finding it. Now, I mentioned he doesn't want to go Piper. He's going to go, well, looks to be a Sheepstick, and they need the lockdown to deal with all these characters. Constant scanning. I love what Gardo's doing here with the Shadow Demon. No phase. They haven't got wards in their mid base, but if you can hit a Shadow Poison from the heroes, well, it gives you vision. They can see where Venomancer is, as long as they've got a poison on him. And he'll keep on scanning. They can see Pup. They know where the position of these heroes is. And give them some slight additional security when they want to siege and go into this high ground. So for now, D4D, I mean, we saw, this is almost mirroring what we saw them doing against Joy. They get ahead, they get the Aegis, and they just slowly siege the enemy base. Eldestad's been going, he's even going to pop the ult, but this is a great initiation from D-Duck, backing with the wall of Replica. Problem is there's BKBs up on Eldestad, he's on the front line, taking quite a bit of damage though. His own illusion working against him, Endless Winter as well. And I think D4D realized, despite the BKBs and everything being used, and everything being, I mean, all great and Honkadori as far as gold lead, 25k gold lead, they realize, hey, this wall of Replica, our gold is being used against us. All these items we got, well, like giving them to the enemy team. It's Assault Crest on a lifesteal. If you get an illusion taken by this wall, well, that's an illusion that suddenly Williman can use. So they wait out the wall. What do? You wait out the wall. And now they continue. This is just slow and steady. Very methodical as well. I mean, it's not just slow for the sake of being slow. I mean, there's a lot of purpose to what they're doing here. Knowing when they can go in, knowing what they can tank, what they shouldn't fight. And the first time they went in was when the BKB of Luna was on cooldown. Now they're going to go in because this wall's on cooldown. And they back off. As soon as the position gets a bit hairy, they might have to back off. Oh, Eldestad, he may find himself gone in a bit too deep. He picks up right off the back and when he goes in, he's going to actually skewer out the dark, so we'll have to see if that works out for him. Because Endless Reset taking a lot of damage. The problem is Darkseid's just going to chew through absolutely everybody. That ship was just stunned, and he got taken out from half HP. He got two-shotted by the Lifestealer. And that's what happens when you go for that phase pick, but he invests in a creep, dodges the silence from the puck, and Lifestealer kept alive. He's got the Aegis. We're probably Sven saying, hey man, I would have loved that Aegis, but it's not to be, and they get the tier 3 tower. They're not going to be able to get the Raxus just now, and I think they realise now's the time to just back off that little bit that they love to do. D4D get a small advantage and back off with their winnings, never overextending. Clinks, no Daedalus, no Daedalus. He must be looking to get that. He's got enough gold for it, so no real need to save for buyback when this far ahead. I mean, if you're getting picked off, you're not going to be in danger of ever really losing to a counter push here. I mean, maybe they lose their tier 1 mid tower if Williman were to fight, but having buyback is not really essential for the Clinks. You can't really make much use of it. He just wants to buy that Daedalus and buy it now. You've got 5k gold. It is time. It is more than enough there in the bank. Z-Link. He's got 2k gold now with that Assault Crest. Blink Dagger with the purchase to Eldestad, that. I think they realise they're having problems initiating. I mean, sure, Mag's a great initiator, but teams, they're not grouping up. They position one above, one below, one in the middle. They're really spreading out, really mean. And that's where Mag can't really be the initiator. That's why he's going for the Blink Skewer, because he knows he's not getting a Blink RP, and when no one else can really initiate, apart from maybe a Lifestealer charging in, they decide Sven can initiate him with a Blink Stun, then he can pop the BKB to help keep him alive, and it forces Williman to group up and get out of position once you have someone initiate. That's where that fight worked out well. Lifestealer charges in, they get out of position, and then Mag got off an alright RP. It only hit 2, I want to say, but it was still better than hitting just 1. As you can see, basic algebra is my forte. And big shout out to everyone who is tuning in. Apparently in-game sound's a bit too loud. I'm going to turn the in-game sound down just a little bit. There we go. Big thanks, as said, to everyone tuning in, watching some Australian Dota here on the Beyond the Summit stream, something which I'm happy to do because I'm Australian and this is where I started out casting. LD, Nothing against Australian Dota. No racism intended. He's actually busy packing up to move to LA. He's coming to LA to join me. I'm already in LA here, casting from Blitz's bedroom.
Hi guys.
I saw Blitz trolling the chat earlier. I'm on to you. But LD's also joining me here in LA soon, and we're going to be looking to build a studio. But for now, you're stuck with the Blitz's bedroom cast on my laptop, which hopefully is watchable. I'm having fun. I like casting Australian Dota. And apparently some of you guys don't mind watching it. Even when it's not the best of teams. But right now D4D are actually playing and drafting, I mean, really well. They've really shut Rillamin out of this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cuck's at the bottom lane on this Luna. He wants to get that level 16. He also wants to start getting that Mad Cell up, but he's being forced back. And big vacuum followed up by a wall of Repka. But problem is BKB popped for Elderstad, and they're just going to try to fight this way. Confetti catches the backlines, which is Cuck's as well as the Darkseid. Picks off two. GG immediately called one big initiation to rule them all, as D4D with one swift stroke clean up a team fight, take out Rillamin. GG gets man. Well, D4D go up 2-1. They were down a 1-game advantage. Rillamin had a 1-game advantage in the grand finals coming through the winner bracket. They actually defeated D4D 2-0 in the winner bracket finals, but D4D, they've turned things around. They take the first game, they take the second. They're now in a position where they just have to win one of the next 2 games to take this grand finals, to take this title here in your Australian Dota 2 competition, the Tides Wrath. And well, they're looking good to do it. They've just won 3 straight games, beating Joy, and now taking 2 games off the winner bracket champions. And we're going to have to see whether or not they can take just one more game. That's all they need. We'll find out soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in on Gods. This is Beyond the Summit coverage of Tides Wrath, and we'll be back soon with your next game.